welcome everybody to episode 3 of Dear Abigail. We're super, super, super excited to welcome the front women of UnSilent Night II.
All right. And we have with us the promoter from Silly Goose Productions, Manda. And I'm going to throw it to her and have her introduce each one of the front women of these amazing bands.
Awesome. So joining us, we do have Miss Jen from Allegiance. We have Kelly from Moonfallen. We have Shade from Here for Now. Carrie with Rotten Cotton Candy. And Devin is not with us, but she's with us in spirit.
Yeah, and we'll pop her in if she shows up, then we'll pop her in. Okay, and also from our band we have Laurie and of course Abby and myself. So thank you so much for doing this, ladies. I think it's really cool. I think that the deal that Manda started last year, the whole show is really important. Back when I was really young, there was a thing that Linda Holler from Harder Beat was doing, and it was Laurie. It was called. Was it called?
It was Women of Rock. Yeah.
Women of Rock. Dallas
for the
City
Harder
Limits.
Beat.
Yeah, for Harder Beat magazine, which is really cool. And actually, Chaz told me that she's still around. But anyways, it's super cool that like this kind of thing is going on again. There's so many good bands out there, and it's great to showcase the front women with the amazing chops and great bands also. So I guess the first thing that we'll do is let's have we'll start with Carrie. And just tell us about what has your band been doing to prepare for it, and what your show is like for people that have not heard you before.
Hey guys, what's up? I'm Carrie Simpson, lead vocalist from Rotten Cotton Candy. We've been, just being creative and having fun with promoting the show. Any opportunity, for making content, might as well, make it a blast and stuff. And we did this one idea with getting like this big old ticket and acting like, Publishers Clearinghouse, and going up to. It was my brother's house, and I actually got the idea when I was approaching his house. Like I was getting out of the car, and I was, going up to the house. I'm like, I got it, this awesome idea. And I told my brother about it, and he was like, man, I wish we had some kind of like cardboard thing, and he asked his wife. She's like, actually, I have a foam board. I'm like, no way. And then so I had the ticket, so and they brought out all these like markers and everything, and I just like got to work on the table, and I made this big old ticket, and then we filmed it. I stayed there longer because we had this like brilliant idea and stuff, and so that was a lot of fun and everything. But as far as people that haven't seen us, that want to see us live, I'd like to consider us like full energy. We do have a pretty dynamic range for sounds. We can go from punk to grunge to new metal to kind of goth rock to all over the map, and we just don't tie ourselves to any like really genre, because rock as a very big spectrum, and there's just so many like subgenres. It gets freaking crazy. I don't know where I belong anymore. It's just like, but anytime that people come to our show, everybody is always having a fun and a good time and stuff like that, and we like to grab people's attention and keep it the whole time and just have a blast, have fun while we're doing it.
That's awesome. It was really cool too. That I love the big people that are younger than us. Me may not remember, but that's like the big Ed McMahon check, right? Like from Publishers Clearinghouse. Like you would go to their house. You just won whatever. That was really cool and very creative. That was fun. Kelly, I've got to go to you because she was talking about genres. So what? Yeah, this is what I said.
Answer, Kelly.
No, well, hold on. So there's obviously a lot there, and I don't know the backstory at all, and maybe we shouldn't even talk about it. I don't know if it would piss somebody off, but I really think that that's a good point, Carrie, because like to me, I tell everybody like it's all rock and roll. I mean, I go see Obituary play. I mean, yeah, it's whatever it is, but I mean, Elvis started it. If there's snare on 2 and 4 at any time, it's rock and roll.
You get so many spinoffs, you don't even know what's what anymore.
It's too much. It's too much. Like you look at people's stuff and you see their bios and it's like, we are a whatever core. And it's like, come on. Like, I mean, just put your name there if you're going to have to write 50 things after it, or put a, for fans of deal, I think is pretty beneficial. All right, Kelly, you tell us about your band and your preparation, what you guys bring, people that haven't heard you. And tell us about metal, not metal.
Well, we started as, they went into this project as a symphonic metal band. And then they got me. And I don't.
He's a pop star.
I don't sing like your typical woman that sings in symphonic metal, because I like I don't know. So I guess I think that's still in our bio on our socials, symphonic metal, just because that's how we started out as. But we are now just a collective of, everybody in the band has their own sound. And instead of saying, we need to write this type of music, we need to sing and perform this genre of music, we all say, I'm going to sing my way. You're going to play your guitar your way. You're going to play your bass your way. And you're going to play the drums this way. And we'll just see what comes out of this mess.
We call the mess the blender. Like you just throw it all in there and the blender goes. So it's an internal thing. It's not like it's not an external thing. Like somebody said, you're not metal, or you're saying you're metal, or
somebody did say that out of spite, and we just ran with it. Yeah. They were big mad and thought that would hurt our feelings, and we just took it. We took it from them.
I mean, there's so many things that just aren't important, and that would definitely be one of them. So tell us, the people that have not heard you that will see this, just kind of give us if you, for fans of would like Moonfallen.
Help, Manda, help. I don't know.
I'll help a little bit.
Fans of music.
With Moonfallen, I mean, that's why I choose these diverse bands as much as I can, because I would say out of my 5, Rotten Cotton Candy and Moonfallen are the 2 that do cross genres and can pretty much be anything. Like there's no rules for them. And I think that with Kelly's like pop singer-songwriter indie style, and then you have like Colby and Mike, who are very, very extreme metal together, they came up with this freaking fantastic sound. So with Moonfallen, you can literally like anything, just like with Awaiting Abigail, and you're gonna like it. There's really not anything, unless you don't like country. They don't do country yet.
Yeah.
I get that. So Jen, when she talks about symphonic metal, and she doesn't really sing that way. So is it safe to say like symphonic metal is more like soaring, longer lyrics? Is that like
definitely
how would you
could be? I am very much kind of landed in the symphonic metal era. I came from someplace different. I'm actually an opera singer. I told Manda I have a very useless master's degree in opera. When a few weeks after I graduated, I thought I would stay in Dallas and start I did opera with different companies. I did a lot of musical theater. And one day, a friend of mine that had heard me sing said, this band just fired their singer. You need to audition. And they sent me Nightwish. And as soon as I heard it, I fell so hard in love. It was, classical voice with orchestra and heavy metal, if you want to call it, that I loved growing up, and I absolutely fell in love. I did send an audition tape, but it got intercepted by Timo Tolkki from Stradivarius, And that's how I ended up in Finland. And I recorded a rock opera with him, and just really fell in love with that genre of music. So Allegiance is a little bit different. We do symphonic metal covers. We do work on some originals. So we'll be probably rolling some of those out in 2026 as we start writing. But we do Nightwish. We do Within Temptation. It's been amazing just to find a group of people that love that genre of music so much, because I can pretty much sing anything I want, which is amazing. We do Nightwish, we do Within Temptation, we do Amaranth. Really, we kind of go in order, and everybody gets to pick, whatever song they want to do. We started adding Epica, and it is a little different because it's not all original yet. But we are working on that, and definitely symphonic metal is its own.
It's special.
Has its own challenges because you go from trying to sing. I don't really try to sing like anybody, but you go from Dark Chest of Wonders to Faster from Within Temptation, and it's definitely a challenge, but it is so much fun. And to see every once in a while somebody light up because they know they recognize Nightwish or Everdream or something like that. That's why we keep doing this. We love it so much.
Oh my gosh, can I add something?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, because I have to say this. Like, I was the most skeptical about putting Allegiance on any of my shows because they're not original music.
I understand. We're different.
And honestly, the first time that I had them on a show, like, the crowd went nuts. They were like so engaging. Everybody like had their phones out, their lighters out, singing along with her. It was the most amazing experience, and that's why I totally believe in them at Trees. They're gonna kill it.
We appreciate that very much.
That's awesome.
Sometimes we'll start something and somebody will yell the name of the song, and yes, right. Please sing along.
That's cool. So will this be your first time to play at Trees?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That is so awesome.
It's always been a dream of mine. So
that really makes it special.
Mm-hmm.
It's very cool.
Really does.
Shade, I haven't heard you guys live, but I've heard you on the internet, obviously. Mm-hmm. Really cool sound, like alternative.
Yeah, I would call it alternative. I think now we're a little heavier. We're like a heavy alternative rock. Especially I think like right now alternative is very it's trending more pop, and I like to be a little heavier, so
yeah, nice. Well, tell us about that. We kind of covered a little bit of it, but tell us like what people that like what bands, like, and if you cover anybody, like who do you cover, and that type of stuff.
Well, sometimes we cover Flyleaf. We'll cover a little bit. We've covered Breaking Benjamin in the past. We'll cover the more like punk era of Arctic Monkeys. Yeah. And maybe some Paramore. So
awesome.
Yeah.
And are you may be the only front woman that plays an instrument, right? Everybody else is solo. Or Kelly, you play guitar sometimes, right?
They made me stop.
Well, that's okay. Laurie and I were in a band together where we made somebody stop playing guitar too.
No, so. I play the theremin.
No, yeah,
that counts.
It's going to be featured on our album, but I'm not playing it live because it's way too difficult to play live.
Yeah.
Also cumbersome.
Yes.
So I say all that to say, so Shade, you play bass, right?
I do. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Is it? Do you find it challenging? Laurie sings. We haven't plugged her in yet in terms of, but she's a punk bass player by trade, I guess, and she used to sing quite a bit. And we're working on doing that. We just have had so many other things going on. But is it difficult to sing and play bass?
I think it's pretty difficult. I think that if you're playing guitar, you might have some opportunities to take a break. If you have another guitarist, they can kind of take over. You have a little bit more flexibility, but whenever you're playing bass, you have to just go. You can't ever stop. You can't ever falter. It has to be right on the whole time. And then you have to sing right on the whole time too. So it was a learning curve. I didn't think I could do it whenever I started. So
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
especially if you're putting if you're really putting some extra stuff into the bass playing, like if you're doing any intricate stuff, I can only imagine like the changes. Laurie, is it hard to sing and play?
God, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're just kind of like chilling, just playing some like roots or whatever, it's it's okay. But yeah, trying to put in like any fills or anything like fancy in there and sing, or to sing and not just be singing what the bass is doing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like that's crazy. That's crazy. I think it's tough. So kudos to you.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really awesome. And Manda, did you you wanted to speak for Devin? And
yeah, I'll go ahead
then
and I'll tackle that since I've known from then on, been a part of their camp for about 7 years and seen them switch out. Devin, with their sound, it's very hard rock, very generic metal, but not in a bad way at all. It's kind of bluesy. So I would say anybody that's like, a traditional fan of like Metallica, Pantera, you're gonna like FTO. And Devin has a very, soprano, deep, bluesy voice, very sultry.
That's awesome.
Soprano?
Yeah,
Is
and
she
some
Alto?
soprano,
Alto?
isn't she?
I think she's mezzo soprano.
It's like mezzo soprano, yeah.
well, and also there's some hella instrument playing also in that band, like super
Oh,
strong
yeah.
players in that band,
Mhm.
technical players. Okay, and one thing I wanted to say to Devin, if she was here, is one thing that was really cool last year, and I love that y'all did the photo shoot this year. I think that's so fun and so important. I wish other bands would do that. Like we've had some other shows where I've really wanted to do that, and like the other bands are kind of like, it's so important. Like, didn't y'all have fun doing the photo shoot?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Stole that totally from you.
It's
100%
hyping.
stole that
Nobody
from
got
you last
arrested.
year.
Yeah, I mean,
I know.
and also it's so good for press and for the socials, having that stuff. That's just fun, and I think it builds some camaraderie. And what I'd tell Devin is, like, there's some pictures that I look back at, like, it's so sweet because Abby was 19, like when we did that first show last year,
I was a baby.
and Devin, and I mean, not like she's not a baby still,
I'm
but
still 20.
yeah. But Devin and Kiana, especially, all the girls were, but Devin and Kiana especially were like just super sweet to her and took her like under their wing. It was really cool to watch like the people interact. After a year of playing gigs around here, it's very interesting watching the bands interact or really actually not interact. I don't get it. And we don't get it. And that's probably why well, I don't know. I'll just leave it at that. We don't. I don't understand not hanging out together. So I'm really glad that you guys did that photo shoot, and that looked like a really good time. Okay, so we've covered all of the bands. Abby, you want to run through your questions?
Yeah. For my first question, what's the hardest stereotypes that y'all had to break through as a woman? Because I know I've definitely had a lot of those.
Let's just start at the top with Jen.
Yeah.
Let's see. Definitely when they hear my background as an opera singer, is interesting, and it's not for everybody sometimes, and I always enjoy hopefully at Trees it will be, but when I would do karaoke, or I did a lot of House of Blues chick singer night, which is a long time ago, but I got to sing with our house band and things like that. And when people hear I'm an opera singer, and sometimes when I start to sing, I kind of enjoy the
Yeah.
When I'm singing in a place where, unlike Trees, they probably have no idea what I'm doing. But for me personally, that's been the toughest stereotype, is just getting past, the classical singer, the opera singer type pigeonhole, I guess. But I've always kind of enjoyed it. It's never bugged me. I like to shock people with it.
Yes.
Good or bad, because it may not be for everybody, and I'm pretty loud. But it's neat. It's very well worth it when you hear somebody yell Nightwish or Epica, or they just all of a sudden know what you're talking about. And it's like finding a common thread in conversation. It's really, really neat.
That's awesome. I love opera, so I'm excited to hear that. Yeah, that's awesome.
Thank you.
Carrie, how about you?
Carrie.
You'll kick their ass, right?
Oh, yeah, she will.
Okay, what was the question again?
It was what was the hardest stereotypes that y'all have had as like a woman? It doesn't even have to be like woman based, but what's the hardest stereotype that y'all have gone through?
Like music or outside of music?
If you have anything in music, I guess that, but if not, like whatever you can think of.
I always felt like, because it seems like every industry is a man's industry, and I'm not a feminist, and I try not to be, but the thing is it feels like, women have these expectations to sit on top of tier, like right up here with men, and like, especially like if you're doing metal and hard metal and where you scream, it's like the guys, it's like the harder you scream, the more the more awesome you are, right? And then so if you're female, what am I supposed to do? I mean, like, do I got to drop my, you got to grow a pair. It's like you got to grow a big pair, just to even be on that tier with, I'm just like, you know what? I'm not playing this. I'm just going to do what I want. I've always been into the like I love the melodic stuff, and I love to get heavy too, but the thing is I don't like to be put in a box. I don't like people telling me what to do. I want to do what I want, and I want to have fun doing it. And what's cool with my band is we all think the same way, and it's just like, we're going to do what we want. I don't like to be, compared to anything. I don't know.
That's so real.
Carrie. I'm just Carrie,
Yes.
I think that's
answer.
well said. And Laurie can kind of relate to this, because Heather has stories from Faded Grace where like I think, Laurie, don't you feel like that it is evolving? It's like a jagged line. It's not going to be like, okay, it's accepted now, it's like whatever. But like, we got a message the other day that was like, oh great, another female singing, another female fronted rock band, exactly what everybody needs. I mean, definitely there's a lot more than there were, but like back in the day, Laurie and Heather, I was not playing at the time because I, like Jen, was actually in college I got 2 degrees in music, not 1, but 2 that I'm not using right now at all.
Oh, come on. I was getting a useless degree and playing, so don't give me that.
Well, yeah.
And I have a minor in music.
Well, there you go. But I mean, I feel like definitely it's definitely more prevalent than ever before. Like if you look both underground and mainstream, like rock, metal, there's definitely more female fronted than ever. And like this guy had basically had enough of it. And he left a comment, and it was funny because I was like, let her rip. Because I don't respond to that stuff. I just let it go. And then like some other guy chimed in and it was like, way to push the algorithm, dickhead. It was pretty funny because it started. I knew everybody's going to pile on him, because it was what it was. What are we even? It
seems better to me about this, how the stereotypes and it being like hardcore. Like to me, it feels better. I mean, I'm very interested to hear like y'all's experiences these days. I'm making myself sound freaking ancient, but I am. But like back in the day, it was a whole thing. Like every time I would go, come like be bringing my equipment to the stage from the back, they would stop me and be like, wives need to go up front and get their, you know what I mean? Like I would be like, I'm in the band. I'm in the band. No, for real, I'm in the band. Or they would think I'm just like carrying equipment or something like that. And it seems like things like that don't happen now, but y'all can tell me if it does.
Yeah, I know Heather has a story of, I guess they opened for Kitty at House of Blues, and some guys came up to them afterwards and was like, you guys are awesome. You sounded great. Sounds like dudes up there. And they were like, yeah, it was not, she didn't enjoy it. And then people would think her husband was a drummer because he's moving the drums and she's just like tag along or whatever. I think we were at Shade. Yeah. stereotypes or challenges you've had to break through?
I think for me, so I'll get people, they'll want to ask questions about the songs or how they're written, and they look right past me and look at my guitarist or my drummer or something. And I write all the music in my band. I write and produce everything. So I have amazing co-writers. My drummer is my co-writer, and so he does help on some of the songs, but everything else is me. So it's like, it was people would be like, oh wow, like, anyways, so Ethan, that was drum part, how'd you come up with that? And I'll be like, all right.
That's awesome. What is your background where you're able to do that?
So I don't I don't pick up the guitar and write all the riffs and everything, but I've just always been super musical. It's come to me pretty naturally. I've been, I think, blessed in that area, at least, that I hear songs all the time. I pick up my bass and I get writing. And if I can get a decent guitarist that I can write with, which now I do have really great guitarists, I'll be like, no, I want to hear that chord. I want to hear this. No, show me that. And then we put together songs pretty quickly. So it's a lot of fun.
Do you play any other instruments?
I play a little piano. I know I took theory and everything, so I know the theory behind it all. And then I can get by on piano, but I'm not like quick about it. But I know how to find what I need.
I'm always digging to see, like, to actually find out who were actually band kids or choir kids, just because I was a band director for nearly 20 years.
That would be
like, yeah, because there's so many people. I mean, that was how we started. We were band nerds.
My drummer's a band kid.
Yeah, it's you learn some stuff in there that certainly transfers.
No, if I ever have to read any sheet music, I just hand it to him. Like, you read that for me. I don't know.
That's so real.
Yeah. Kelly, how about you?
Basically the same as Shade. I do, a lot of the songwriting and the producing, and also I am purposely trying to not dress a certain stereotyped way that I feel women have been pushed on. You know, you have to dress this way if you're in a rock band and you're a woman. And I'm like, no. First of all, I'm old and nobody wants to see that. Second of all, I don't really care to show any of that, or if that's, I want people, I'm going to force people to listen to our music and not look at my body when we're on stage. That's going to be the main focus, is our music and not my boobs. So I kind of dress in baggy as I can. So I'm just like this amorphous blob on stage.
It doesn't work.
To break through.
Sorry.
Well, that's really awesome.
We all love her.
And I mean, that's the whole thing, is being authentic, right? So it's, you don't want to do something that's not you to try to be something. We deal with the same thing. I mean, most people are trying to look at my boobs, and we try to transfer attention. We try to transfer attention over to at least somebody that has better ones, anyways.
No one has better ones than James. No,
I really don't. I actually had a breast reduction, so
it's pretty nice.
So awful on your back. I get it.
Abby, what was your challenge? Is there a pain body there that I don't know about?
What's my challenge?
What were your challenges, or what are your challenges?
I would definitely say the songwriting process. A lot of people also do that. I don't write like the music, except some of our songs are from my pop music as well. But I do all of the songwriting, or James helps me a little bit. But they always kind of like, they're like, no, you didn't do it. Or I would say, I don't know. So a lot of people don't realize I do rock because I'm like this, like, I'm like, I guess I'm like little, and my voice is kind of like, I'm like a little girl almost. So maybe they don't expect that. But it's really fun to like prove people wrong, honestly.
Yeah.
Aren't you
Yeah.
named after Abigail, like King Diamond Abigail?
I am. My mom's a metalhead.
That's
Yes, my mom's a metalhead. She was super excited whenever I joined the band. She was really excited.
She was rebellious, like reverse rebellious. So
I was, yeah.
because her mom was a metalhead, she was into pop because her mom was constantly playing Slayer and stuff like that. But her mom's really
yeah. Every time I go home, because I live in Dallas right now and she lives in Houston, every time I go home, even though I've been like doing rock stuff all week, all weekend, she's like, let's go to a metal show. Let's go see Dying Fetus. Let's go do this. And I'm like, girl, like I love rock, but I'm tired.
Abby's mom
Like,
has the most fun at shows, like for
yes.
real. Every time I've seen her,
She's the best.
Walking out.
She is. She is. After I went to college, like she's back in her 30s now. She's having a blast.
Well, that's good. That's been good for her. I'll say one stereotype was when we were looking for a vocalist, her age was a major stereotype for me. Like before I met her, I saw her profile on Bandmix, not sponsored, actually still probably wasting money on a subscription I didn't cancel. Yeah. But I saw 19 and the influences were interesting, you know, because it was like Fleetwood Mac, Evanescence, like it was very wide range. And I thought that was interesting, but like I didn't really take it seriously until she started like kind of pinging us and like, when is our band practicing? And I was like, our band? Wait, what? But anyways, and then she totally proved us wrong with age. So there's a little bit of ageism going on. There's lots of versions of 19. I mean, when I was 19, I pretty much had it together like she did, but there's also 19-year-olds that I know and taught when they were younger that didn't have it together. Laurie?
Oh, everything's just dandy now.
Everything's dandy. You haven't you didn't have to break through any glass ceilings?
I mean, I feel like I broke it all already. No, I mean, not really. Not now. I haven't had any issues these days. Not really. I mean, except for the parking attendant, but I don't think that was because I was a female. I think he was just a dick. But so no.
Yeah. No. It might have been a little bit because you were female. Like he wished that he could flirt with you, but he couldn't because he didn't have it anymore. I don't know.
I don't have it anymore either. So, but no, I'm to the good. I'm great.
Abby, do you have another question for them?
Oh, yeah. Talking about songwriting, what's y'all's like songwriting process or collaborative songwriting process that y'all have?
Let's go back up to Jen and go in that order.
I'm a pretty good lyricist. I played, like I said, I came from a different place. So I wasn't the girl, you know, with the guitar in my room. I was the one listening to Metallica and Phantom of the Opera and driving my little brother crazy, singing dirty words to Les Mis with my friend on the phone. When I worked with Tolkien, he's very much the music guy. So he wrote all the music and let me do the lyrics. So when I approach it, it's a little bit different. I usually get the lyrics first and then kind of go from there. I play the flute but I could not be worse at the piano. I had to go through a proficiency with that, and I was not intended to play the piano for some reason. But I can play the flute, and I've done a lot of, I guess the most composing I usually do is I've done some film scores where I work with a composer in LA, and he'll send me kind of the basics, and I'll just basically sing a lot of high notes, a lot of ahs, until just kind of layer them until he gets what he wants. That was a neat dream of mine. I got to sing on a Gothic horror film, which I've always wanted to do. So I kind of come into it from the other side.
That's awesome.
And you said that you guys have original material coming in 2026.
We're working on it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We'll see. It's a long process, so absolute respect.
Yeah.
I've got a random question for you though. Do you like meatloaf?
Yeah, I do.
Because I was thinking like Metallica plus Les Mis. I was like, you gotta like meatloaf.
Oh yeah.
It's meatloaf.
Yeah.
I've never thought of that before.
I didn't know if you're talking about the food or my dad's 8-track that he had in his
The man,
28.
the man,
Yeah.
the legend.
Yeah, yeah.
Robert Paulson.
Carrie, so yours is you've cut Rotten Cotton Candy is like a remake, right? Was it a band that kind of
Yeah.
rebuilt?
So, yep, we rebuilt the band pretty much. It's just like I came into the band in January of this year, so been with them for a little less than a year. And it's just like I liked the name, but it's just like I'm like, okay, we gotta revamp this, we gotta rebrand this, we gotta, I had this vision, and I'm like, okay, we got a lot of things to do, and it's just like we got to redo the logo, we got to do all this, we got to. I'm sorry, but the misspelling of the cotton with the en was bugging the hell out of me, and I'm like, we gotta redo this, okay? But but as far as how our music writing process goes is, Rob, he writes a lot of guitar parts, and he writes a lot of lyrics too. Our ep that we released here back in September, those are lyrics that Rob pretty much wrote, and he writes bana ba bana, he has these notes in his head, and he portrays them out with his voice, and then George will pick up on it, and sometimes and then I'll create my own melody to it, and sometimes some of his lyrics need to be tweaked, so I help him with that. And then sometimes George, he wrote a new one. He writes songs, and then he'll bring them to the table. Our bassist writes songs, and he brings them to the table. Sometimes they'll write something, and then I have my old book of all these lyrics from in my early 20s of song of that I was going to use from our very first band, Lost Lust, but nothing ever happened with it. So I bring a lot of my old lyrics to the band too, and that's how we've been able to pump out a lot of the songs that we have. Is we can write a song just like that. Like earlier after band practice, I was literally about to leave, and then George, he started playing this little lick thing, and at first it sounded like kind of like folk, and I'm like, bro, what is about to happen here? And then it goes heavy. I'm like, oh, okay, I can do this. and then it's just like out of that heavy part, it's just like this melody just instantly popped into my head, and then I'm like, okay, hold on. I started hooking my wireless, put the batteries back in my wireless microphone. I'm like, okay, hold on. And then Rob, he was like, hey, Carrie, do you have any lyrics? I'm like, not right now, and he's like, he just pulls out of his jacket, and next thing you know it, we wrote a song in under 10 minutes, a brand new song. So we have a lot of teamwork when it comes to writing songs and stuff. But as far as our very first song that we wrote together was Bleed, which the video is about to be out.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it. Is it Mark awesome? Shout out to
so
Mark
cool.
Cornett. Yeah, he's a cool dude. Shade, you kind of already alluded to it, but you play a large role in the songwriting process, it sounds like.
I do. So I love getting inspired by my bandmates. Everyone's noodling all the time. You try to get all the cats herded at rehearsal, and someone's playing something. I'm like, wait, that's not someone else's riff, right? And I'll be like, no, I just was messing around. I'll be like, you better keep that. And so I'll pull out your voice memos. And so we go through, and I like little moments like that, or if I get inspired by something on bass. And then I'm like, all right, guitarist, I need you to write something around this. These are the notes. This is the key. We're gonna write this. And then it's actually really funny. So 3 out of the 4 of us are bassists. So my drummer's a bassist, and one of my guitarists is a bassist. So sometimes we'll all sit there on basses and write everything, which is a really funny instrument to write on. But yeah, so it's it is a collaborative effort, but I really head it, and I decide kind of what goes where. And like I said, I love getting to hear. Sometimes I'll have a bandmate. I beg them please come in with something cool. If it's a drum beat, I'll be happy to put something down. 'Cause if I hear a cool drum beat, I can write a whole song around it pretty quick. So that's what I like to do. I get the melody before I get the lyrics. Lyrics are the last thing that comes to me. I feel like whenever I was young, I used to be better at lyrics. I don't know what happened. Well, not that I'm not good at lyrics now. It just takes me like a lot of processing.
Yeah,
you know?
I think that's interesting with a jazz background, because like scatting and that type of thing, Jen, you had mentioned sometimes oohs and ahs, and Shade, you talking about the melody coming first. Like out of, I guess, raise your hand if the melody comes first. Yeah. Yeah.
Could be in there.
So just about most everybody, then you try to fit the words to the lyrics.
Yeah.
Cool.
You gibber sing.
And it doesn't
Yeah.
even matter because I could be singing anything and the guys wouldn't know.
Yeah.
I've like sung like absolute nonsense and they were like, yeah, it sounded really good. And I was like, well, I wasn't singing English, so they're like, oh.
That's so funny.
That's awesome. Kelly, how does your songwriting process go? I know that there's probably a lot of minds there that are creative.
Yeah, so far with this, since this is our debut album, there are several songs on the album that were brought in from before we even knew each other. And we kind of just made it Moonfallen. But from here on out, it's going to be, all of us combined together. But usually someone will bring a guitar riff. That's usually where it starts. It starts with a guitar riff, and then we'll set aside studio days because I'm in my studio right now, in my house. So they'll come over. We will put some tracks down, and then I always do the melody and lyrics by myself. Get out.
Yeah, get out.
I need to light some candles, get in a really dark place in my head. And yeah, I can't just, I have to feel it. So I can't just be like, all right, I'm going to sit down and write some melodies and some lyrics. I have to be like, oh, it hit me. I got to go. So then I'll sit down and I'll sing a melody. I'll, record it in gibberish where I'm just singing not even words, just and then I'll go back and I'll find words that make sense, that fit in with that melody.
Yeah.
Because that's super important with songwriting, because if you have lyrics, they could be amazing lyrics, but if they don't fit with the flow of the song, it just sounds not good. It sounds forced, and you can usually tell when the lyrics had been written first, because they're kind of choppy, yes. And what I do is I've heard it coined as automatic writing. The lyrics just have to kind of come to me, and I start writing them almost like I'm being possessed. And I just kind of write them down as they come to me, and I will tweak them here and there. But yeah, I usually don't say, okay, I'm going to write about this subject and I'm going to use these types of words. It just kind of comes out of me once the melody is set.
That's awesome.
There you go.
I'm glad that you brought up the riff, because going back to Shade, I think probably, so in our genre, I'm very broadly speaking, of course, in our genre, you go back to Metallica, bands like that, the vocal stuff was secondary, it wasn't necessarily primary, like it was all riff based. Yeah. And so I feel like a lot, like when we do interviews, and that this question always comes up, right? Like, how does the songwriting process work? And we go at it from both ways, but the riff is a great point, because historically in our genre, I think that's where songwriting. So I can see where it would be normal for somebody to look at a guitar player and say, where does the songwriting come from? Although it's not the case anymore, because, with you and your band, you lead that, not just the vocal stuff, but the riff writing as well. And Abby's stuff, like she'll have a pop song and we're trying to figure out like, okay, how do we make this rock?
Yeah.
Or I'll bring to her like basically how she
Mhm.
got in the band, 4 tracks, and say, write the lyrics to this.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so it really I think it comes, we're in a time where like so much stuff is getting mixed together,
Mhm.
like time wise, and historically it's been this way, and as it starts to normalize, I think you start to see it. Laurie, I know that you and your punk bands wrote a lot of stuff, and she's we're just not together enough that we're able to jam. So it happens collaboratively a lot, like via distance and learning, learning and sending each other stuff like
The
that.
files.
The files, the Dropbox. But
Yeah.
Laurie, how does your, like, you're able to write pretty proficiently, obviously, from your previous groups on bass. How does that process go?
Just I will just be doing something, and I'll just think of basically like a riff, like something will get in my head, and I'll be like, oh, and then I'll like, when I get a chance, I'll sit down and find it right on bass, and then I kind of like flush it out from there, do like a bridge and whatever, if it's the verse or the chorus or whatever that pops into my head. I'll usually noodle around till I find something to go with it, but it's usually like just a sound. I'll just think of something and be like, oh shit, yeah, I want to do that. I don't know where it comes from.
Yeah, that's interesting. So basically, what I hear you saying is you're conceptualizing, like, not even at the instrument riffs. Like
It's in my head, and then I sit down and find it.
For the music educators who would be saying you're audiating, like there's stuff going on in your head that's original stuff, and then you got to find an instrument to like try to get it out.
And it's usually in the shower, and you have to hurry up and run.
It's something weird, doing something weird, and then you're like, oh god. Or if I'm at work, I'm like, oh, try to remember.
Voice
so
memos.
When I get home, I can find it. Yeah.
Or if you're driving Meals on Wheels.
That's what I did.
Yeah. Hey, Manda, I want to go back to something because I think there's not a lot to be said, but definitely something to be said here. So I know there's a lot of joking back and forth on the internet, but between promoters, but tell us there's got to be some resistance. Like, a lot of promoters are male, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like, do you have anything to add to that? I mean, like, if you think of you as, well, tell us.
Being a female promoter, especially in DFW, is special. It's different. It is not for the weak, because we are pretty much dominated by the male promoters. We have fantastic ones. Mike Zemer is great. He helps a lot of our folks and keeps Deep Ellum alive. You have Torch. You have Brim Manson with Coven Underground. So these are all powerful dudes that already have all their connections made. And here's me from 90s Deep Ellum days, trying to establish these same kind of connections that they have and grow just as big as they are. I think the one thing that a female faces more than anything else is not a lot of respect out the gate. Kind of, what are you doing? We don't do it this way. And I, of course, don't listen at all. I do things the way that I want to do them. I do things the way that I saw that were successful back in the late 90s and early thousands. So I'm having a blast kind of doing things however I want and not sticking to any kind of formula that has worked for others. I don't like the same sound over and over. I don't like it when we start a show and you don't know when the band has changed out. You don't know if a new song is playing. So my favorite thing is to mix these bills up. And, we have a very strong, I know everybody knocks the tribute side of things and cover bands, but honestly, they're fantastic openers and closers, and they have just as much talent as the rest of these beautiful people. So they do deserve a spot. And I like mixing it up that way too, where, you get more of a crowd and
Yeah.
not just people like, okay, well, I saw my friend's band, bye, and they're
Mhm.
out. And of course, there is the sexism where everybody thinks that they can flirt with you, they can sleep with you. Not going to happen. So you have to be very, motherly. Everybody's my kid. That's how I see it.
Yeah, like the mother hen role.
Yes.
I think that the tribute band thing, I think you bring up a great point. And obviously, like, we play with diverse groups of people and adjacent. I think that's more, it's definitely more interesting than having a bill of a band that sounds all the same. And I think there should be more of the tribute band mixing with originals. I think it would help both, actually. You know, you
get
see,
better draw.
yeah, you see the pictures from like Fat Daddies and places like that, just different places that are only doing tribute bands. And it's like, why not throw an original band in there in the middle of that? And, you know, because I get it with the tribute bands, people want to sing along, and, you know, it's almost like it's I don't know, a night out at Pete's Dueling Piano Bar, which is a blast, right? Like, you get to sing along, you get to drink, and it's like your favorite songs that you grew up to. Why not mix an original band in with that too? I mean, the worst thing that could happen is like, oh, well, maybe not do that again.
Well,
you know, if it didn't work.
I love the original bands now that are going back to throwing in a cover during their set, because that keeps your audience so engaged, and like, you know, they love it. They love it when you bust out, when Abby busts out with Pretty Reckless, you know, you see the whole team light up, and then they want to stay for more. So it's definitely, they've earned their place.
Yeah,
I'm not a
sure.
tribute hater.
Yeah,
for sure.
I love tribute.
Laurie, do you have any official questions for all of them? And Abby, did you get through all of yours?
Yeah, I'm done with mine except the fire questions.
Yeah, rapid fire. Laurie, do you have anything for the
ask
ladies?
The questions. You kind of asked the questions that I would ask. I just wanted to meet everybody.
That's awesome. So, Jen's, it's your group, your band's first time to play at Trees, and Shade, is it yours also?
Yes.
That is so awesome. So I don't know, this probably didn't show up, but I think it was when we were talking to Jay Gavitt, we were talking about when we played at Trees in a totally different band, but about how one of my college friends stole the 8-ball. It went into, from the billiards upstairs, it went into a really interesting discussion, because one of the bouncers was like, I remember that night explicitly, because they were like, it was actually fraternity brothers that stole the 8-ball, and I didn't know it. And everybody, the venue was like, we're not going to let y'all play unless y'all give that back. I'm like, what are you talking about? And my band friends and my college friends were not the same people at all. And so I was like, oh, I've got a great draw here. I'll bring all my college friends. I'll be able to bring a ton of people. Well, I did, but like, one of them stole the pool ball. Anyways, it was really funny. And I think actually, I can't not remember the guy's name off the top of my head, but I think we're going to do like a history of Deep Ellum, where obviously we'll bring Mike in. You will bring it. Yeah, I think there's so much knowledge out there. And then I remember playing, we were 16 or 17, and we were playing, Heather and I were playing in a death metal band, and we played this place called the Rock and Roll Revolution. I would love to find out where it actually is. I know that it's on Commerce Street, but I don't know what building it is or what it was, but there's a lot of history there, obviously. All right. Well, let's do some rapid fire questions. And like, this is the fun part about this is you don't get to think about it. And you don't get to say, or you don't get to say like multiple answers. Like, it's just got to be like one answer. Okay. So, and it's going to go quick. We'll start with Manda, and we'll just go Manda, Jen, Abby, Shade, Kelly, Laurie, and Carrie.
Okay.
All right.
And I only have one fire question.
Okay. I don't remember what yours is. I'm going to start with mine because it's a good icebreaker, and I'll answer it, but obviously, like, I've had time to study for the answer. All right. Favorite fast or junk food? Pizza. Manda.
Taco Bell.
Jen.
Pizza.
Abby?
French fries.
Shade.
Little Caesars.
Kelly.
Bagels.
Laurie.
Cheeseburger.
Carrie.
Pizza.
Awesome. That's a lot of pizzas. Okay, favorite. I know this is hard.
One bagel.
I know this is really hard. Favorite all-time band, and I'll embarrass myself. I'll go ahead and say it. Like, I started out in hair rock. Poison. Manda.
God, it's too hard. But I think 9 Inch Nails.
Jen.
Dream Theater.
Abby.
Evanescence for sure.
Shade.
21 Pilots.
Kelly.
Silverchair.
Laurie.
New Order.
Carrie.
Alice in Chains.
Awesome. Love Alice in Chains. And Abby, your turn for your fast fire question. And I have to answer it too.
Okay.
So we'll start with me.
Okay. What's the weirdest thing a fan has ever sent you?
A picture of their foot with their toe missing.
Missing.
Jean's toe. That's what I was gonna say.
Amanda.
Sorry, that one got me.
We can
Believe
come
it or
back
not, I used to be in a band as well back in the late 90s, early thousands. And I think my weirdest was I had a autograph from Charles Manson sent to me that he wrote on a napkin.
Oh, is it authentic? Is
It is.
It's
My
real?
ex-boyfriend has it. He owns it. But
Oh,
yeah,
man.
that happened.
He's got to get that back. Jen.
That was scary.
That is cute.
I have actually a really sweet fan club in England, and when I was recording in Finland, my laptop broke, and I was freaking out. And they sent me a giant box with a brand new laptop, and it was on my birthday. And they sent me a cake and all this stuff, and asked me to have a party there in the studio and film it and everything. So it was very, very, very kind. So nothing
That's a
too
sweet
crazy. I got some dirty stuff too that's been sent to me, but
Yeah.
I'll put that away and just talk about the kindness.
Yeah. So I'm assuming everybody's gotten some dirty stuff or whatever. We have a.
Yeah, I'm gonna say.
Hopefully
I was
not
gonna say the
Abby
same
and
thing that you
Shane,
said.
'cause I don't want to know.
We also have.
There you go.
We also have somebody that has a feet deal, that sends us stuff. Abby, you got anything else? Do you want to talk about the guy
It's just
with
the big toe. The big
Yeah.
toe.
It's just the big
We asked them if they signed up for our fan list, so they get emails with different things, and I think it was to our YouTube. We were like, subscribe, and he was like, I'm not paying for that. I'm broke. I give my money out like I have my love or something like that. It was like something
Yeah,
where you
my
have to
money is
earn
like-
it.
my money's
to
like my
earn it.
love. You have to earn it, and they took my toe.
And then
And he
he's
said
like, yeah, and he's like, you think I'm rich? They literally took my big toe. The hospital took my big toe because I don't have enough money. And he sent a picture, and his big toe is missing. It is so gross.
That's epic.
So you see the picture, not the toe, right?
It was
What's
It's
that?
a picture of
missing
the
toe,
foot
yeah.
with the big toe
Gotcha.
missing.
So you didn't get the missing toe, did you? Just checking.
We
it
don't
yeah.
know where. No,
We don't know where
Sadly,
that
we
one
don't.
It's probably long gone.
they took it. They took my toe.
They took it. He didn't even say who took it, but they took it.
They did.
Yeah.
Kind of.
He literally, he thought we were asking for money, and we weren't. It was just like our fan
Like,
list
it's
was
free.
saying,
Just
hey,
subscribe.
check this out or whatever. And he said, you're not getting my money is like my love. You got to earn it. We're like, damn, we're in a relationship. And then it's like,
Keep your toe. Just subscribe.
Shane,
I don't think I've been sent anything that weird, but I have had some people show up at the show and act like they knew me and like they were gonna help haul my gear, and I was like, no.
Yeah.
yeah,
my
you don't want
gear.
anybody helping. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Only people you know. Kelly?
Not anything with Moonfallen, but I used to be somewhat TikTok famous, and I quit that because I didn't want to go. That was a path that I couldn't follow. But someone sent me, and I guess this isn't like weird or creepy or anything, but someone sent me a drawing of me that they did but it was just with words that I would say in my TikToks.
Okay.
All right.
That's
Yeah.
I don't.
That's interesting.
How do you
I don't know
take
how
That
else
would
to
be a little creepy.
It's either, yeah, it's
Is
either
that
cool,
flattering or
You're like, I don't know what to
cool or
think.
scary.
I can
See,
go
they're
grab it
cooler
real
first
quick.
coat.
Yeah, it was a sweet gesture, but yeah,
Yeah,
it was just
maybe too much. Laurie, how about you?
I mean, the craziest thing is the missing toe, and I do want y'all to know that I have written a song, and I'm calling it "They Took Jean's Toe," and I'm not playing. So y'all will know what that is. Yeah, they took Jean's toe. But no, someone wrote me a song, and it sounded bad.
Oh, that's right. You also got a drawing at Cicada.
Yeah, but I like him. That was nice. But
Yeah, but I thought it was like a relative of yours.
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
No.
Carrie, what's the weirdest thing you've gotten?
I've never actually received like anything physically or anything like that. So yeah.
Pictures?
Uh-oh. Well,
Boys in her inbox.
I had one guy draw a picture of me in a little Batman outfit. It was pretty cute. It wasn't weird or anything, but I was like, oh, that's so adorable. I'm like, I like reposted it on Facebook and everything, but I haven't gotten any. Oh wait, I don't know if he was a fan of the music or anything like that. Yeah, I haven't gotten anything like super weird, thankfully.
Give it time.
Yeah, well,
Give it time,
hopefully this will.
Give it
Yeah,
time.
hopefully this will get there. Everybody send Carrie something.
Yeah.
a toe.
Bring Carrie
Her
some
missing
Jean's
toe.
toe.
Those already been done. Somebody send a
Like,
finger.
Jean, where are you at?
Yeah.
Come on, Jean.
She's got
Her-
9 more.
Her personal email address is, and her phone number is. No, but seriously, thank you guys so much for joining us. Each and every one of you are wonderful, and your bands are great. And thanks for coming on our podcast. Can't wait to see you guys at Trees. Everybody watching, if you're local, you better be there. If you're not local, hopefully it'll be streamed and you can sign up for it. Thank you all so much for coming on. The flyer's on the screen. There's going to be details down in the description. Follow these bands, listen to them, and support them. And rock on.
And support Awaiting Abigail. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.